Hello guys, welcome back to additional part 9 of creating Procedural Dungeon Generator. My name is Nicholas from Exolvate Games team, and in this part we are going to fix some bugs that I have noticed. So the first bug is basically spawning rooms behind our starter room where we need to enter in that dungeon that is spawned. So yeah, that is the first thing that we need to fix. And the second thing that we need to fix is basically spawning coins and the chests inside our boss room. So why is that? That is because we are getting the floor spawn points from the previous room, or basically the latest spawned room inside our dungeon that is spawned and basically replaced with the boss room. So the one thing that we are doing, we are keeping those floor spawn points from the previous room that we have replaced with boss room, but we are actually destroying that room and not the floor spawn points that we need to basically delete or destroy too. So we are going to fix these two things. There will be not a big work, so we just need to do some additional things, and this will be a short part. So let me just compile my code and launch Unreal Engine because I want to show you in which way the rooms are getting spawned behind our starter room. So now if I click on my dungeon generator and increase a room amount, so I'm increasing the room amount because there will be a bigger chance that some room is going to be spawned behind our starter room. Okay, so let me just click on begin the simulation. Let's test it out. Okay, so let's actually begin the simulation again. I really hope that in some moment we are going to get that behavior. Okay, so as you see, this dungeon room 5 is getting spawned behind our starter room. Okay, so that is something that we do not want. If we have some kind of a dungeon inside our game that we are creating, we want this to be an enter, and we do not want anything to be spawned here. So we are going to fix that, and let me just show you what I mean by spawning the coins and the chest inside boss room. So let me just increase the coin amount and the chest amount. Okay, so 100 coins and let's say 50 chests. If I begin the simulation, let's see if inside our boss room is going to be spawned anything. Okay, so this is a large dungeon. Maybe we need to... Okay, so let me just decrease the room amount to be something like 50 maybe. Let's begin the simulation and let's see what we are going to get. So not again. I'm sorry about this, guys, but I just want to show you that actually there will be the coins inside our boss room and also chests. So like as explained before, this is the floor spawn points from the previous room that is replaced with this boss room. Okay, so we are actually deleting the previous room and replacing it with the boss room, but we are not doing anything with our floor spawn points. Okay, so that is these two bugs that we need to fix. So let's just close our Unreal Engine, click on Save Selected, and let's begin the work. So let's first fix basically the thing behind the spawning the coins and the chests inside our boss room. Okay, so we need to go to our dungeon generator.header, and here we need to declare a new boolean. So where we are going to do that, we are going to do it here. So I'm just going to type here bool, and I'm just going to name it something like can spawn, or actually can use spawn points. I think that that makes sense. So we need to get that, and here in the dungeon generator.cpp we need to go to the spawn next room function. Okay, so there it is. Whenever we are spawning the next row, we want to initialize our can use spawn points b, or actually b can use spawn points boolean to true. And now we need to basically check if our boss room is getting spawned, and if the boss room is getting spawned, we want to set it to be false. So maybe you can pause the video and try to think about the logic behind doing that. That will be a cool practice. So just pause the video and think about it. Okay, and now I'm just going to fix that. I'm going to also show you, that's why I'm here. So we need to do a check if the room amount is double equal to 1. So why is that? Every time when we are spawning the rooms, we are decreasing this room amount, and with this room amount we are checking how many rooms do we have inside our dungeon. And if that room amount gets to the point that that is 1, that means that that last room is going to be the boss room, and we just want to initialize that to be false. Okay, so not minus false, but equal false. So yeah, and the thing that we need to do, we need to go to, let me just see. Okay, yeah, also the spawn next room function here inside this code block. So we need these two lines for the floor spawn points, and we just need to check if our can use spawn points boolean is true or not. So I'm again using the truthy value. The thing that you can do is just do check like this. If b can use spawn points is double equals to true, so we are checking if it's true. If it is, this code, these two lines of code are going to be executed. But I'm just going to delete this because this is the same thing. And now, if I basically, I think that we can test it out now. So let's just compile our code and launch our Unreal Engine. Now, if I go to my dungeon generator, I think that I can actually increase the coin amount to even more, so something like 50. Or let's just, okay, so the 50 is a good number. Now, if I begin the simulation, let's see what we are going to do. Okay, actually, we see that our coins are getting spawned, but the boss room is empty. Let's again check if we are going to spawn something inside our boss room, and no, nothing is going to be spawned inside our boss room. So let's again see. Yeah. So now, if you check 1,000 times, you will see actually that nothing is getting spawned inside our boss room, and that we have actually fixed the bug that we had. And now the next thing that we need to do, we need to basically fix a bug behind spawning rooms behind our starter room. Okay, and yeah, while I'm talking, I'm just trying to get something spawned inside my dungeon, inside my boss room actually, but yeah, that's not the case anymore. So yeah, let's test it out again, but yeah, we have fixed that bug. Now, like I said, let's fix the other bug that we have. So we need to basically open our content drawer and go to C++ class folder, then this folder right here, and what we are going to do here, we are actually going to create a separate C++ class for our starter room. So that will be a C++ child class of this room base. So I'm just going to name it something like rb underscore starter room. and just click on create class. So let's wait a little bit. Okay, so now basically let's again open our content drawer. Let's go to our pdg underscore files folder, and from this bp underscore dungeon 1, let's duplicate that room, and let's name that duplicated blueprint to bp underscore starter room. So you can give it some other name. That's on you. And let me check something. So we have actually declared this subclass of a variable. Here we are choosing what is going to be a starter room that is going to be spawned. Okay, so that's a cool thing, and that is going to save us some time. We are just going to open our bp underscore starter room and open the full blueprint editor. On the class settings, we need to reparent this blueprint to have a parent class that is basically a starter rb underscore starter room. So just click on reparent, save and compile again. And for the starter room, from the drop down menu, we actually need to change the class of a variable. Okay, so let me just close my Unreal Engine. And now you will see this message right here. So just click on reload all. Let's go to our dungeon generator header. And for the starter room, we need to actually search for ARB underscore starter room class. Okay, and we need to import that class. Okay, so just typing class rb, just by typing class arb underscore starter room, and now we need to go to our dungeon generator.cpp, and we need to do some changes inside this spawn starter room function. But before doing anything, here we need to include the rb underscore starter room dot header. Okay, and now we need to here change a class of our spawn starter room to be a starter arb starter room and here also we need to change the class. So now I think that we can now compile our code and test it out. So let me just compile my code again, and now let's launch our Unreal Engine, because now let's see what we are going to do. So here we are inside our Unreal Engine. If I click on my dungeon generator and click on my starter room drop down menu, you will see that actually we will have these two. So yeah, we want to spawn the bp underscore starter room and not the dungeon room one. And now every time this bp underscore starter room is going to be spawned. Okay, so now we need to basically do one thing inside our or actually let me just check something. BP starter room, open full blueprint editor. Okay, so actually we need to declare some of the components inside the C++ class of our starter room. Okay, so let's close our Unreal Engine. Let's click on Save Selected. Let's go to let's open actually the dungeon room 1 header. And let's compile, not compile, but copy all of this. Let's go to our starter room.header, where it is. So let me just find it. Here on the left side, rb underscore starter room.header. Let's paste it here. But the constructor is different. It is a rb underscore starter room. And now let's go to our dungeon room 1.cpp file and copy all of this that we have here. So let's go to rb underscore starter room.header file, so where it is, I have lost it again. So there it is. Let's create a definition for our constructor, and let's just paste all of this. We need to include from the components. We need components. We need to include the arrow component, and the red line will disappear. And another thing that we need to do, we actually need to create another box collision component that is going to be behind our starter room. So we just need to basically set to be the behind our starter room, like I said, and each time when we the dungeon is spawning something behind that starter room, it is going to check okay, if it is overlapping with that box collision. If it is, that room is just going to be deleted. So yeah, that is basically the logic behind fixing that. So now so let me just okay, let me just double click on my starter room.header and move it here. Here I'm just going to declare a variable that is going to be with the same specifiers, but it will be a class of ubox component, and that will be just box collision. Okay, so box collision _2, and now we need to go to .cpp file. We need to create a default sub-object for that component. So create a default sub-object. The class will be just ubox component, and I'm just going to name it something like okay. So let me just copy this and paste it. Let's just attach it to be a child component of our overlap folder. Okay, so but before doing that, we need to include from the components folder, we need to include the box component, and now we are going to get the suggestions for all of our functions, and the one that we need is a setup attachment, and here we are just going to search for overlap folder, because like I said, this box collision component is going to be a child component of this overlap folder component. And now let's compile our code and launch Unreal Engine, because I want to add just the appropriate place for that second box collision for our starter room. So let's just now open our content drawer. Then let's open our BP_starter room, and let's just click on open full blueprint editor. And yeah, actually the exit arrows are not in the right place, so we need to close this. We need to delete this BP starter room, so just force delete. And let's again duplicate from this blueprint dungeon room 1, and let's name it something like BP starter room. Okay, so let's open it. Let's click on open full blueprint editor. Let's go to our viewport. Let's click on our class settings, because we need to reparent it to be a child class of RB starter room. So just reparent it, then compile and save it. Okay, and now we need to adjust the place for this box collision component. So let me just click on this right here. Okay, not that, but this box collision component. Let me copy those scale values. Let me just click on this box collision 2. Let's just paste them. Okay, let's now copy these location values and paste them, and I'm just going to increase this snap size to 1000. Okay, and I'm going to do something like this. So this box collision 2 is right behind our starter room, and yeah, we have did everything that we needed. So now we need to compile and save. And now, because we have made we made a new BP starter room. We need here to click on this, and from the drop down menu we need to select the BP underscore starter room. Okay, and basically I think that now we can implement the logic. We need to do some work inside our code editor to make it work. So let's just close our Unreal Engine. Don't forget to click on Save Selected. So the first step that we need to do, we need to go to our dungeon generator.header, and we need to declare a new, actually two arrays where we are going to store the box components inside our dungeon. So we are going to get all the box components from all the rooms that are spawned, and we are going to append the one array that we are going to use for every latest room, and one that where we are going to store all the rooms. So okay, let me just declare that, and you will see soon what I mean by that. So don't worry, I'm going to explain again. It will be a type of view component class, and I'm just going to name it spawned rooms collision components. Okay, and the second one will be something like latest room collision components. Okay, so that is pretty alright. That is basically telling us everything about what we are going to use this array for. So let's go to dungeon generator.cpp, and here in the spawn starter room we need to basically get this spawned starter room reference. We need to get the overlap folder, and in order to store all the children components, we need to get a function that is called get children components. Okay, so we need to pass false if we want to include all descendants, so we do not want, and now where we are going to store it, we are going to store inside the spawn the rooms collision components, and this is array where all the collision components of all of our rooms inside our dungeon are going to be stored. So let's just store it inside this array, and now we need to let me just take a look at my other project. So what we're going to do, okay, now inside this code block, so inside this if block, we need to get the latest spawned room, and we need to get the overlap folder. So we need to do a similar process. We need the get children components function. Okay, so we do not want any descendants, and where we are going to store those box collision components of the latest room inside, that is going to be inside the latest room collision components. So let's just do that, and what we are going to do, we are going to get these spawned rooms collision components, and we are going to just append append this latest room collision components to this array right here, and basically in this way we have set up our arrays, and now inside this array right here we have all the box collision components. Okay, so now we need to go to our remove overlapping rooms, and what we are going to do here, I'm actually going to comment this and move it down there. So let me just take a look at my other project. I'm going to delete this. So now we do not want to check for the actor. Now we want to check for a component that is basically the box collision component. Now what we are going to do, we are going to do another for each loop for the every box collision component. So now we need to type u scene component, and what I'm going to do, or basically how I'm going to name it, something like maybe BC or element element underscore and because I don't want it to have the same name like this element right here, so this will be actually an element underscore and we are going to loop throughout this this array right here, so spawn the room's collision components. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do an if check. So that if check is basically, let me just see, we need to cast to a U-box component and as a reference we need to use this element right here. So if you take a closer look, this is actually an overlap not overlap, but box component from the latest spawned room, and now we are using that component. We are casting to U-box component class, and we are using that element as a reference. Now we are going to basically get why we are casting, because we want to get a function that is called is overlapping component. So now, like I said, we are not going to check for actor, we want to check for the component. And here we are just going to cast to U-box component, and as a reference we are going to use this element underscore. Okay, so we have basically did everything that we have needed. So now let me just move this inside this if check. So let me just make this a little bit prettier, and yeah, basically that's it. So we have stored every every box component of each room that is spawned inside this spawned room's collision components, and now this has a similar logic like previously. Now we are not checking for the actor. Now we are checking for the box collision components inside that room, okay? And in this situation our starter room is going to have two box collisions, and it doesn't matter if it's colliding with our walls or nothing. So already there is a box collision inside that room, so it is not going to overlap with each other. So what I mean by that is that everything is going to work pretty all right. I hope that you have understand this concept, and if you don't, please reach to us throughout our Discord server, or basically just write a comment down below and our team is going to help you. And now let me just compile my code and launch my Unreal Engine, because I want to test it out, and if it works, then great. We have did everything that we had for this additional part 9. So now if I test it out, let me just begin the simulation, and I think that actually I'm going to increase the room amount. So because the greater room amount is, the bigger chance is to get some bug. Okay, so something like 100 will be pretty alright. I really hope that actually we are not spawning any rooms. We are not spawning any rooms behind our starter room. Okay, so now we have a chance to spawn, and actually we are spawning the room behind our starter room. So okay, let's close our Unreal Engine. Let's click on Save Selected, and now let's basically see what's wrong here. Okay, so I have just remembered what I have did wrong, and yeah, that is about the setting up the options for our box collision 2 component. So let me just compile my code and launch my Unreal Engine again, and you will see that that was a problem. So let's just open our Unreal Engine. let's open our starter room and let's click on open full blueprint editor. Now if I go to my viewport and let me just click on my box collision 2, you will see that actually collision presets we need to set to be a custom in order to set it up. Object type needs to be a room overlap and basically we need to here click on the ignore, but room overlap will be just overlap. So let's compile, let's save, and then you will see that our that now nothing is going to spawn behind our starter room. So let's begin the simulation a couple of times in order to test it out. So now something might spawn here, but I think that nothing is going to spawn here. As you see, in the every other place a new room is getting spawned, but behind our starter room nothing is getting spawned. And basically, yeah, I actually know that now nothing is going to spawn, so you can test it out how a bunch of times, as much as you want, but still you will see that we have actually fixed this bug. So yeah, that was actually the last thing that we had for this part. I'm sorry if some things that I have explained are a little bit confusing, because I'm trying just to explain as much as I can, but yeah, I'm not that good with that. I'm basically a beginner with recording these series and tutorials. So yeah, sorry if something is unclear, but because of that, please reach to us if anything is unclear. Yeah, that will be basically it. We have did everything that we had for this additional part 9. I think that actually this will be the last part of this series because I didn't notice any other bugs. So yeah, that will be it, guys. I'm very proud of you that you have came this far. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in some other series. Bye.